Hi, my name is Andy Lang, and I'll be showing you an educational tutorial on AI Sense and how that can help enhance the behaviors of our AI enemy. So currently we're working off the Lab 5 project, so we only have AI Sense site established, as we already know, but we can kind of enhance that even further by adjusting its variables. So if we go to blueprints and enemy character blueprint, here under AI perception, under the AI perception component and under the AI perception section, we have our first of our sensors config array called AI site config. Now that's already been implemented in the labs, but um, we can also adjust this to our liking. So we can look at Uh, it has sight radius, loose sight radius, and peripheral vision half angles. So these can be adjusted depending on how this would essentially tell the AI how far they're able to see and how wide they're able to perceive. So I currently, by default, it's 3,500 meters, but I have adjusted this to a smaller radius to 1,000, to 1,500, and a 65 vision half angle. So this can be adjusted to kind of give a realistic uh, viewpoint for the AI. And you obviously can change the debug color here. And yeah, uh, this is essential to so that you wouldn't have to have the AI to see you from really far away. Sometimes if you're playing a really dark game, you'll obviously adjust this and have them a shorter perception. So we can go and demonstrate this in the game. So if we toggle the apostrophe, you will see that it comes up with a bunch of uh, a pop-up menu with the perception. So perception, if you click number 4 on the numpad, you would see that the green ring would show you the how far the AI is able to see, and the pink ring shows yeah, the loose sight radius. You also see that the AI has a cone, and that is its peripheral angles. So that's how wide it can see. When out of the range, it will continue to patrol around the map. So that is AI sight, but we can also enhance this further by adding a new sense called AI sense hearing. So if we go to the enemy character again, you would see that under the AI sight config, we have AI sense hearing. And you can see that its hearing range, it has a hearing range variable. It is 3000, that is its default. So I'll leave it at that so that the AI can basically hear anywhere from the map. I've also given it a max age of 10, so it can only sense for hearing for 10 seconds. And this I will explain why later. If we go to player character blueprint, I've also, under the AI perception stimuli source, not only do I also have AI sense sight, but also AI sense hearing. So this will tell the AI that you should be able to hear the player character. I've also added a new action mapping to the player character. So if I go to edit and project settings, you'll see under input, I've added a distract action mapping and labeled it, I've toggled it to E. So whenever you press E, it will play a sound file that will create a noise event that the AI can detect. So if we go back to enemy character, again, no, sorry, my bad, it's player character blueprint, you'll see that I have an input action distract node attached to the event graph. I linked its exec to a play sound at location. So this will play the sound that I have, the sound file called oi. I've detached the oi sound file to it. So this is the what the sound will play, and they will report the noise event so that the AI can detect it. I also have a get actor location which is linked to the location of the play sound at location and report noise event variables. And the instigator I obviously have it to the self node. So this refers to its own blueprint. So that is all you need to do to create uh, uh, an action for distraction. So now we also need to go back to the coding. So under the classes, I've added under enemy character, under the header file, I've created a new agent state called investigate. So this would allow the AI to go to the nearest node to the player, but would not fire. So they're only investigating the area. So what I've also added down here is the bool can hear actor and the void function agent investigate. After adding these, you can go to the CPP file of enemy character, and in begin play, I've set the beacon here actor to false, just like beacon see actor. And here we have the agent states, the functions for agent states. So um, under so we would attach a new condition for the new investigate state. So under the patrol, if they can't see actor but they can hear the actor, then it would go to the investigate state and empty the path. So down here, I appended the condition for the investigate, and I play the function. And if they can't see the actor and they can't hear the actor, then we'll just go back to patrol. But the other two are pretty similar to the transition from patrol to engage and evade. So if we move down to see what the investigate function does, all it does is if it can hear the actor and the AI has 0 paths, then it will create a path to the nearest node to the player. But obviously it won't fire. And then here in sense player, this is where we distinguish between AI sight and AI hearing. So even when the stimulus was successfully sensed, it won't tell which AI sense it would be. So only initially it was AI for sight, but we can type down a condition called stimulus.type.name.toString, and if it's equal to the default AI sense sight, then we can toggle the beacon see actor to true. But if stimulus.type is AI sense hearing, then we toggle the can hear actor to true. And then of course with the else function, we have both can see actor and can hear actor back to false. So that is all you need to know about how to implement AI hearing and a new state for the AI character. So if we go back to the viewport and press play, you'll see when I press E,
Oi.
it'll play a sound file. And of course you can see that the AI's behavior is in the investigate. It won't fire until I go to the site. So if we go away and hide behind a box, for example, you'll see that when
Oi.
I press E, the AI character will come back and investigate the area that you were in for 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, it will go back to patrolling, unless of course you go into its line of sight.
Oi.
So that's all you need to know on how to implement AI sense sight and hearing that will enhance the AI character. Thanks for watching, and happy coding.